Did anyone see Spire Global this morning? Hey. Okay, what happened? Quick news update. And of course, it will just happen that about 2 days ago, I was like, well, there's not going to be much news, but I just wanted to talk about technical analysis until there is news when Spire Global files. And now today, just this morning, an hour ago, it dropped 10 cents, whatever. Anyways, Spire Global awarded, let's see, let me just read it. Aid from space, nope, that's the wrong one. Just this morning, Spire Global, Canadian Space Agency assigns Canadian $72 million contract to Spire Global Canada to design wildfire satellite mission, working with Aurora Tech. Now, so $72 million Canadian, that's like $5 freedom bucks. So I don't know, just kidding. Now, I wanted to emphasize that this isn't the first time they worked with the Canadian Space Agency. Nope, that's not the right one. Back in May 9th, 2023, they also worked with Aurora Tech and Spire Global in order to look at wildfires, right? So that shows you that, again, Spire Global is doing space as a service. They're doing wildfire monitoring, environmental monitoring, security monitoring as a service, right? Those are high margin, and also you have a recurring customer base. You have an ARR, you have an annual recurring revenue. Once you have a customer, they're hooked. And as I said in a previous video, you see this, right? Los Angeles fires. It's absolutely crazy. Look at it. And it just looks like hell. Now I want you to compare that to this picture. Okay? Wildfire detection. I want you to compare that to this picture. Wildfire monitoring. This is evidence that the products that Spire Global has is in high demand. And if it isn't in high demand, at least it's working. They're renewing their services, right? The first year of a contract, maybe the first contract they sign with a customer, maybe it doesn't show that much because they're just in their testing phase. People don't know whether or not their product works, whether or not their service is useful. And then it's only after they renew the second, third, fourth time that we know that those customers actually liked their product, actually enjoyed their product, which is why I think that this contract shows you how useful Spire Global will be, especially with all the fires, all the natural disasters that are happening. If California had monitored soil moisture, right? So there's this big debate talking about why did California protect the smeltfish over human lives? See, the problem with that is, so California was protecting the smeltfish because the smeltfish is actually a type of indicator species. So when you see that those species aren't doing well, that shows you, it indicates that the environment isn't in peak, isn't in optimal status. But why are we relying on these, I don't want to say prehistoric methods of realizing this, right? Why are we relying on asking the smeltfish to play a game of telephone with the earth when we can directly talk to the earth through products such as the things that Spire Global gives, right? Such as the data that Spire Global produces from their satellites. And that's why I think that even if you say that, oh, well, there's a Republican administration, they're not usually too keen on environmental things that are they're not usually too keen on acts or laws for the environment, right? Well, this is saving billions of dollars, right? Think about how much money California would have saved if they had some type of monitoring system before the fire, so that they could, instead of listening to the smeltfish, they were like, oh, well, there's this burn area in northern LA, I think. We should probably look at that because our satellite has data saying that that's about to spark and cause a giant fire. And even if it isn't the government, even if it isn't the state governments, you have the people, or you have the insurance companies, right? Look at Geico, look at State Farm. Do you think they want to insure those places, right? They can adjust their rates based off of how the data looks. And if data is showing that you're in a high potential fire area, they increase the rates. If they're showing that it's a low potential fire area, they'll decrease the rates. And additionally, you look at the traders, the energy traders, right? You see the energy traders say, okay, well, there's a potential of massive tsunamis in some state that has a lot of wind farms or something, or a lot of solar panel farms, that might cause people to have to use more oil or have to use more coal or whatever the heck they use for energy. I don't know, I'm not an energy trader, but those, you just see the applications of Spire Global's products in everyday life. I just think that the setting is set up perfectly for Spire Global to capitalize. I really want to reiterate that this is a second contract that they signed with the Canadian space government, right? Space agency. This is the second one, and they renewed it immediately, right? I think the last one was 18 months or 15 months or something like that. You'll find it here somewhere. I think it was like 15 months, or like a little bit more than a year. Maybe, like, I know it's less than 2 years. And that's 15 months. That makes sense because it's May 9th. So about 15 months. So they renewed it immediately. Like, it shows you that there is a demand for Spire Global, and this is a service again. It's low, it's high margin, it's low cost, right? Once you set up the infrastructure, once you throw the satellites up in space, you just sit there and it generates data for you. This is the golden goose, in my opinion. And so Spire Global is releasing the books hopefully within 2 weeks. I mean, if they don't, then Spire Global is going to tank. But I'm just really excited because I feel like they keep getting more business, right? They're getting more exposure, and like, as you see more and more natural disasters, you see the massive storms in like Europe, you see the massive fires in Western the United States, the tsunamis and all those things in Eastern United States. You see like the massive temperature drops, right, throughout like northern United States. I'm only saying United States because I live in the United States, so then that's only data I know. I haven't really researched other, like, globally, but I'm sure that other countries around the world will be able to use this data as well. And I just want to reiterate one thing I want to reiterate. I'm just going to assume that the stock market is completely rigged, because how is it that like the lines and events always match up? If it doesn't match up, then I'll be more thankful that the stock market is less rigged, maybe. But yeah, I just wanted to bring to attention everyone, like, this is pretty cool. That's it. Just a quick update on Spire Global. Hopefully I talked closer to the mic. Someone was talking about how like I need to pronounce my words or enunciate more. I think it's just because my mic was too low or too far away. So hopefully this sounds better. Please let me know. Have a good day. Let's go Spire!